Ah, yes. One of Mari's heroes passes. Come on through, but mind the smell.
You ever think about running off, like Barnby and Sam did?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Never met a real hero before. Come on through, but mind the smell.
This town looks peaceful enough. Let's find out if looks deceive. Junk. What's this? I found something. This poor unfortunate died just when he thought he was free. There are marks on his body. Something in the water got to him.
Hope you ain't looking for work in this dying town. Besides, you ain't got the look of a fisher about you, I'll tell you that much.
You two, Julian, show him how it's done, man.
You ain't got much to say. Off with you.
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? Respect. Try rancor.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. Oh, no, that won't do at all. Innocence is a mask that doesn't fit you. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. The very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dalek.
Like I said, Julian. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you. The time has come, my stitched-lit lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Bah! 7 curses upon that ship.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. Yes, I am very much aware. Wasn't my damned head that hit the floor back there. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with it, woman! What happened? That means source was used, which means some third party must have attacked first. And I've a fair idea who that might have been. Raymond, that old goat, always suspected there's more to the Driftwood Dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. There's a local thug, Lohar. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Lohar is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure, and hard workers too. Half of them are their queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely? A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
In short, travel west in search of a dwarven base of operations in the treacherous Reaper's Bluffs.
Should any such place exist, it would be very opportune indeed should you stumble across any correspondence between Lohar and Queen Justinia. Can't describe it to you any plainly than that.
Hello, missus.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister. No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here.
They stare at you in disbelief. Then they start laughing.
You're weird. Bye-bye, lady. Bye-bye, Mr. Lady, Mr. Those monsters.
I'm Alexander. You're the sorcerer, Mary Lane.
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
You can't just charge in here and ransack my business.
You've been warned, Barnes. Now get out of my sight.
Rat's hair out of place. You tell
The Magister turns, and his eyes fall on you.
You! Have you seen anyone leaving this place? Grey cloak, grey beard, a satchel of books under one arm, hmm? You can't have missed him. Lucian's teeth. Where is that runt hiding? If you see anything suspicious, anything at all, report it immediately. Do you understand? He's a sorcerer dressed as a tinkerer. Our brothers started vanishing as soon as the tramp arrived in town. He fled into this stinking shed, but we'll find him again. We'll have our justice.
The Magister's eyes flick to a nearby pile of fish, and he moves off to investigate.
If any of you see so much as a rat's hair out of place, you tell the Magisters. Then we can get them out, and you can get
Still
back to
no sign. I'll flush the rat out wherever he's hiding. He won't get another one of my brothers. So, report. Did you find... If you see anything suspicious...
Bugger off, I'm busy. Grisha's still the favourite. If I bet
The dwarf
anything,
peers at an expertly dissected fish, gently poking its innards with his knife.
Fascinating. Most fascinating. Oh, my... I mean, no, what do you want? I'm gutting fish. What else? Nothing wrong with taking pride in your work.
The dog sniffs the wooden decking, like there's something wrong.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and it's not right. I don't know, but there's something wrong, and it's underneath the floor. Easy for you to say, missus. You're not smelling what I'm smelling.
I miss Joe. Joe's a good swimmer. Oh, swim.
What? You be needing something from me, lass? Ain't much inclined to rub elbows with humans, if you catch me drift. Ain't no one been standing together since Lucian died. Ain't been no goodwill among your kind, or mine, or anyone else's since the Reds have been in charge. Glad to hear you say it.
Tell me, have you seen a man acting suspiciously near here? Grey cloak, grey beard, satchel slung over his shoulder? Blast! Well, if you do see anything odd, report it immediately. There is a foul creature lurking in...
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his waist. He tries to ignore your presence, fails. He sighs.
See here. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. When you've been in business as long as I have, you learn that there's a market for everything. You just have to find it. Or...
A dark shadow passes across his face.
sometimes it finds you. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect.
He gives you a cool look.
You don't bother your pretty little head about it.
Barrels, ponds of fish, he could be anywhere.
You're hiding him. I know they are. I'm going to send you the full joy.
You, stranger! What are you doing here? I'm someone investigating the disappearance of 4 magisters. There's a sorcerer stalking these streets. An affront!
Several brothers have gone missing. Now tell me, have you seen a man in a grey cloak?
Great Damien, take it all. It's vital that you... He arrived in Drift as soon as he knew...
Now,
Nelson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Please. Please.
Greetings! May the Seven circle you and keep you safe. Ah, it's a wonderful day, wouldn't you agree?
Please. Please. Could you help me?
Of course. But there are plenty of magisters around, aren't there? They shield us from sorcerers and voidwoken alike. You're quite right about the sea, though. Why, only a few days ago, I was writhing in pain, having eaten from that rotten fish they dare sell on the market. But then a fellow pilgrim passed by, laid his hands upon my feverish skin, and just like that, I was cured. Truly, it was a miracle. Alas, I cannot say who he was, but I can say what he was. A holy man. A stranger showing kindness to strangers, exemplifying the teachings of the divine. Fills my heart with gladness to know that there are still folks like him to be found, now that our Lord Alexander has fallen. May the Seven keep him. May they keep all of us.
Fab, you're a hero.
Surrounded.
The Magister startles, realizing there's a stranger in his midst.
What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Get yourself together. We still have cells for you to be thrown into. Now answer me, why are you here? Well, mind your bloody step in future. I've an investigation to carry out, and I don't need any more distractions. He's a deviant named Higba, a grubby little tinkerer with a criminal mind. Some of my magisters have vanished from Driftwood lately, and I'm certain that fiend is responsible. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Understand? There might even be a reward in it for you. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time then. Elsa,
Well, there's a fun face. Byron and I are patching up before we head home. Hope the Order folks are treating you all right. You stay out of trouble now.
I need those records, damn it.
Right away. I'm watching you, stranger.
You're better than fine, Fab. You're a hero.
The Meister's back! She doesn't feel like playing, but...
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
The Meister turns to you, her eyes wide with worry.
Oh, pardon. I'm so sorry. How could I have forgotten? Thank you so much. Thank you for rescuing me after they had already strung me up. After they had tortured me for days. After they...
She stops mid-shout, descending into a fit of coughing, wheezing, and groaning. She glowers at you as she slowly regains her composure.
If we are quite finished with politeness, there is enthusiasm. On a weekday, my word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the magistrate... Kindly remove that painting from the wall. really is quite simple. In the corner, there's a painting. Remove it and push the button behind it. Then we have the combination.
I pray my instructions will not be too technical. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with what?
Push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. No amount of sheer force you exert can budge.
We can go nowhere until you open the safe in the floor. The combination is 15R, 34L, 23R, 35R, 9R, 16L, 33L, 45R, 51L, 1L.
The stone door remains just as it was. Taking your time, you...
Excellent. Follow me. Your time...
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, God? Then it's time to smart. No. Become the divine was the divine. When you become the divine, there is no more self.
ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream. This again.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken?
Meister Siva's stare bores into your soul. It is still, analytical, and ice cold.
Indeed, some people seem to think so. Mostly they're idiots, but in some cases they're mad dogs.
The Meister rests her hand on her arm where one of her wounds has just reopened. She squeezes hard, ignoring the trickle of blood running down her claw.
I pray you're more idiot than mad dog. It would be a shame to expend all this effort just to see you put down.
The Meister grabs your sleeve and pulls you down until you are inches from her blooded, glittering eyes.
If the void breaks through, it is the end of everything we know. I would kill you, your family, and my own sweet darling grandmama if that's what it took to keep this world safe.
She releases you, sitting back in her chair with a groan of effort.
If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right any injustice. But make no mistake, the Divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The Divine cannot use her power for anything else. When you become the Divine, there is no more self.
For just a moment, her eyes soften as she looks at you.
It is no small thing to ask, but it is your duty. Without a new divine, Rivellon will die. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch Divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
Once, although not by a god-woken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand absent-mindedly, wincing slightly.
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. And putting our faith in you is a risk Rivellon must take. If you need more detailed information about the ritual, see the tome on a plinth by the bookcase. But be quick about it. We do not have much time.
boring.
Are you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain. Go!
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudanate oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
Lucky find. As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul. The deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.